Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Prince from PrinceTV Reacts and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be checking out the latest video from the Odd Ones Out, which is called the Netflix series that was also scary for adult James. I think this is related to the video that he made, the movie that was too scary for baby James. I'm guessing that from the thumbnail. So I'm kind of hungry, so I'm just going to have some milk and some cookies while I watch this video. Okay, let's go ahead and play. Alright.
And publish.
May 27th. Wow, it's been
23-minute
2 years
review about an
since
80s
that
puppet
video.
movie sure is different than the content I usually
Unbelievable.
post. And even though it was a lot of work, it was fun to try something new, and I think the video turned out
Making
pretty
some
good.
milk.
Am I right, Chamberlain Funko
I'm
Pop?
making some milk. I'm just, yeah.
Well,
Some
it's a good
powder.
thing I'll never, ever have to worry about this franchise ever again.
This the
Are you
same.
sure about that? When I made a review about a cult classic puppet movie that came out 35 years ago, the last thing I was expecting was that said franchise would get a reboot announced 2 weeks after I posted. And every single day since then, people have been tweeting at me saying, "Hey James, did you know Netflix is making a Dark Crystal series?"
Wow,
Yes,
that's pretty
I know.
awesome, right?
Do you know who you're talking to? If you don't know what the heck I'm talking about, then I recommend you watch my video, The Movie That Was Too Scary for Baby
I
James.
have
In
watched
that
it.
video, I reviewed a scary kids movie
In my
called
previous
The Dark
channel,
Crystal.
not on this
the
one.
movie was more or less a passion project of Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets, and so this movie was done entirely with puppets. It came out before I was born, but I still somehow watched it and got scarred for life. In my review, I said some good things about the movie, like I thought it was a very creative and artistic film, but I also said some negative things about it too. As YouTubers, sometimes we forget that our videos are public and can be viewed by anyone. And when we talk about companies, we can forget that real people are attached to those properties who have poured hundreds of hours into these projects. And there's a chance they'll see our videos.
Who
And
watched
unbeknownst
it?
to me, Lisa Henson, current CEO of the Henson Company, saw my video.
Wow.
For some reason,
I
I never
see.
considered that was ever going to happen. If I had known that Lisa frickin' Henson was going to watch my video, I probably would have worded a few things differently. I don't think she was too mad at my video, though, because she invited me to tour the Henson office, and I got to see a real-life Skeksis puppet, which resurfaced an unhealthy amount of repressed memories, and I got to meet some of the puppeteers, which was a whole lot of fun. Also, before Age of Resistance was released, I got contacted by Netflix, and they invited me and some other Dark Crystal fans to an early screening of the first 2 episodes, and I signed a
Dude, that's pretty
non-disclosure
awesome.
agreement so I couldn't spoil anything. I don't remember when that NDA said I was allowed to talk about it again, but hopefully I'm in the clear. When I was in the early screening, I just remember thinking about how cool that these characters in this world were back on the big
Whoa.
screen.
They look
Netflix
pretty good
has
now
a pretty big screen, and
on
the
the series.
puppetry and cinematography have only gotten better. And the fact that 95% of everything was done with practical effects and puppets, it's beautiful. There's not a single human in this series, except in episode 10 when this puppeteer's head can be seen for a couple frames. I just checked and they actually took it out, so I still
It's
saw
too
it.
nitpicky,
So
I guess.
much time and care and hard work was put into this series that there was a documentary made about how hard it was to make this series. If any of you are wondering, no, Rayunip does not make an appearance in Age of Resistance, nor is there a naked baby Jen
I wonder
puppet.
if anyone
Also, if you're
watched
worried
it
that the show
except
wasn't
for
going to be as
James.
dark and scary as the original, don't worry. It's darker and scarier than the original. The Netflix family Twitter account was nice enough to timestamp every scary part in the series, and as you can see, stuff goes down in episode 10. Surprisingly though, they didn't blacklist the scene of the Skeksis peeing out of 3 different pee streams in episode 6 at 28 minutes and 41 seconds. Really makes you think.
Dude,
So
I'm trying to
artistically,
eat.
this
What the
series
fuck?
is beautiful, and it needs to do well because it's left open for a season 2, and I want a season 2 to get greenlit. I'm not going to do a plot summary of the whole thing like I did in the first review because I don't want this video to be an hour long, and you should watch it for yourself. I'm not just going to do everything for you. I'm not your mom. But there are some things you should know
That
before
was a
you go
cool
watching the
animation.
series. This is kinda spoilery, but I won't spoil that much. So this alien planet is home to these creatures called Gelflings. They can share memories with each other by holding hands, and the girl Gelflings have wings. There's also this other creature called Agura, who's been around since the beginning of the world. She's basically Yoda's
Well,
sassy
that looks
grandma.
like
And then at a
that looked like the what's the name from Amethyst from Steven Universe, right?
nowhere these tree aliens visit. stay with me here, and they crack this very important crystal, and in doing so, they split into two different creatures. Their goodness becomes this thing called a mystic, who are dumb, and their bad side become these cool bird monsters called Skeksis, and then the Skeksis took over the entire world, so whoops. None of this is explained in the original movie, and it's not explained in the series until episode 7, but I think that the tree alien backstory should have started the series, which is why I just spoiled it for you. The original 90-minute film already had so much lore, and this new Netflix reboot just added even more lore.
I don't know what
There's even a
lore
character
means.
named Lore.
Look
How
it
much
up.
lore is there? Speaking of names, there are a lot of made-up words in this series, and sometimes those made-up words are hard to remember. Within the first minute of Age of Resistance, the narrator tells us that there are seven clans of Gelfling, but then only names 3 because there are only 3 important ones that we should care about. I don't even know.
Alright, lore means a body of tradition and knowledge on a subject and held by a particular group. Okay, so that's like lore. Okay, where's the camera? Lore means that. So I guess it's the knowledge about the show, which we don't have. Only James has all the lore, right? That's what it means, probably.
The other 4 clans, and I'm like a Dark Crystal aficionado. Also, there are like 10 evil bird monsters, all with names like Skekso, Skeksil, Skektek, and Shrek. Granted, most of the time they go by their more common
5
names
is
like
coming next
Chamberlain
year, so I'm
or
pretty
the
excited
Emperor,
about that.
But gosh dang it, I can't even remember some of those names. That's
Yeah.
the pussy one, and that's the one that
Ugh,
made that weird
dude.
face in the original movie, and that's the one whose voice does not sound like a Skeksis at all.
Okay.
What vexes you, child?
Another thing you should know is that I thought this series was pretty slow. Maybe it's because I'm impatient or I'm used to watching YouTube videos at 2 times speeds exclusively, but do you remember in the original movie how there was a scene where the Skeksis ate dinner for 2 whole minutes, and visually it was amazing, but the whole time you're thinking, yeah, I get it. Well, there are a lot of scenes like that in the series. Let's take the beginning of episode 2, for example. It starts with a character we've never seen before, waking up and putting on his shoes and making porridge. While spilling the porridge on his shirt.
I don't know. Do you guys find this endearing in any way? I mean, I appreciate the art of puppeting, but the characters look weird, and it's just, I don't know. Not for me. I'm happy with James's video. I'm never gonna check out the original series
Brushing
or the
his
movie.
hair. Then roughing it up. Then grabbing his cleaning supplies. And it's just a whole minute of this unnamed character getting ready for his day. It's just so poor. Just cut it, please. And it wouldn't be that bad if this was the only example, but trust me, there are plenty of examples. I just don't want to spoil any of them for you. Turning a
Okay.
90-minute movie into a 9-hour TV series, you're going to have some filler or some scenes that don't necessarily drive the plot forward. I get that. Luckily, I found this Chrome plugin that lets you watch Netflix at 2 times speed, so
It's all good.
making this video has got me thinking about prequels and how tricky they are to do right. In the original movie, there are only 2 Gelflings left in the entire world. So a prequel that sets up a world
The world
with
is
7
called
different
Thora.
Gelfling clans, we as an audience know that something's going to happen, and it ain't going to look good for the Gelfling. The series also added
Alright.
this MacGuffin Halo sword looking thing that was supposed to save the world, but the whole time watching that I kept thinking, no. That's not how the world is saved. The world's not saved until 1982. Also, there are certain characters that we know can't die because they're in the original movie, but boy does this show make you think some OG characters are gonna die. It almost makes me wish that the writers used the 80s Dark Crystal movie as inspiration and rebooted the series in its own separate universe. Movie reviewers tend to focus a lot on the negatives, and I don't want to come off as a hater because I really did enjoy this series and I want a season 2 to get made, so let's end this video with some of the things I liked about this series. I like that we got to see this.
On this video, he's trying to not be too harsh, because the last time he was too harsh, the original creator of the movie actually ended up watching the video. So yeah, it's good that he's trying to lighten the blow. in the end.
Skeksis with more personality because they were always so over-the-top evil. The Hunter Skeksis was just on a whole new level of cool. All the other Skeksis never came across as threatening. Like look how slow they walk. I could beat them up. But the Hunter Skeksis, oh man, he was awesome. Do you think he'll be my friend? I like that this series didn't tone down the darkness, and if anything, they amplified it. Because everyone like me should have a deep-seated fear of puppets. There are some great nods to the original Dark Crystal, like when the Emperor Skeksis says,
I will never be dust!
but we all know
Wow.
that's the very first thing he does in the original movie.
Oh, no.
Celadon is a piece of garbage and does not deserve a redemption arc. The voice acting is amazing. There are a lot of talented
the
people
voice
voicing these
actually
characters,
sounds
like
nice.
Luke Skywalker. A YouTuber named Barnaby Dixon, who made these very cool mantis finger puppets, got to work on a scene where the puppets put on a mini puppet show. And that was everything I liked about Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. So, in conclusion,
Okay.
if you have 9 hours of free time, download the Video Speed Controller plugin, set that bad boy to 2, and save yourself 4.5 hours. But do watch Age of Resistance. Also, executives, if you
Alright.
still need someone to play Rayunip, hello. Hey.
Alright, and that is the end of the video, I guess. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Not as long as the movie review was, and I'm glad that it's not, because it's not relevant to my liking. I don't watch the show. I'm only watching the video because of James, the odd ones out. I don't know how many of you guys are actually going to check out the series. Let me know down in the comments. Did you watch the movie after the review came out? Because I didn't. It was a fun video to watch because, James makes everything fun, but at the end of the day, no one's going to watch an 80s movie because of a YouTube video. And I'm probably not going to watch the TV show. I haven't even caught up with Game of Thrones yet. There's so many things I haven't watched, so I'm definitely not watching this. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments what video would you like me to check out next. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.